All right, so I'm out here with the Element. I'm gonna go ahead and nuke the inside of this thing because it stinks. I figured out why. I just took it to the vacuum place down the street, and there was a bunch of like old grass and shit underneath the spare tire cover, because the spare tires, there's like a cover that goes over it in the back. It was nasty. That's where the stink's coming from. So I vacuumed that out, and now I've got this Meguiar's air refreshener here. So it says start the vehicle with the fan set on high, on circulation, we got that. Step 2, with the air freshener nozzle facing away from you, be sure to put that right in my face. Activate its locking trigger. Place in the center of the car. That's easy with an Element because, I mean, just boom, right there. Okay, so I guess I just press this thing, right? Whoa! Holy shit! All right. Oh my God! Let's get the fuck out of this thing. Look at that thing go! Holy shit! All right. I just got a mouthful of that. Woo! Oh God, that was definitely not good for me. Let's see what it says happens if I inhale too much of that. Get medical attention. Nah, we're good. So, anyway, I'm gonna let that grenade for 15 minutes. Let me check the time. So that'll be at 7:05. And so the Element today, I want to give you guys an update on what my buddy with his shop figured out, what's going on with it. So as I reported in last night's video, the seller told me it just needed struts all around, and I kind of did my own observing, and I could tell it was leaking from the valve cover gasket, which again for a 11-year-old vehicle is very typical. Man, I got such a mouthful of that. It's like, it's all like, whenever I breathe, it's all I can taste. So that sounded awfully homosexual. Anyway, so the struts I knew last night when I bought the vehicle. Valve cover gasket I knew about. I knew there was an issue with the brakes. However, I thought it was the front because it was shaking, the wheel was shimmying, and you could just feel how hot that front passenger side brake is. But I had my buddy check it out. He said it's fine. However, the rear pads were right down to the rotor. So I had him change out the rear brake pads today. The front pads got another like 3,000 to 5,000 miles on them, he said, so those are good. And he said there was no issue with the front brakes at all. Now, what he thinks was causing that, the one thing I didn't know was wrong with this car, but really, I mean, when I typically buy a car like this to flip or whatever, you end up finding like 10 things that were wrong with it you didn't know about. I don't care how good you are at diagnosing a vehicle, there's just things you cannot check. You know, when you have a car on the ground, it has to be up on a lift, which I didn't have the option to do that last night, obviously, when I bought this. So it needs the lower control arms. That's the only other thing it needs. They're not that bad. I found Moog ones online for 40 bucks each. So I'm gonna have him next week. I'm heading out of town for the weekend. When I get back, I'm gonna have him do the lower control arms and the struts. I'm gonna get KYBs. And then it needs tires, obviously, which I knew, again, when I bought the car, because they're destroyed from the lower control arms being bad and the struts. So I'm gonna probably have to, I can smell that shit from here, it's crazy. I'm gonna probably have to figure the struts are gonna cost me around like 350 bucks for the 4 KYBs off like Rock Auto. The lower control arms, like I said, 40 a pop. So that's gonna be $430, and then there's labor, obviously, with all that stuff. He's gonna do the valve cover gasket for me for like 100 bucks, parts and labor. I mean, I know it's an easy job, but I know he's gonna do it. He's gonna really clean everything, make sure it's all perfect. So 100 bucks. I hate when I'm doing a video and people just fucking stare at me. Fuck off. So about 100 bucks for the valve cover gasket. That's not bad at all. Might as well do it. Usually I just ignore oil leaks, but 100 bucks to make that motor dry, you know, no leaks, worth it to me, especially because I'm gonna be dailying this thing. What else do I have to do to it? That's really it. And the tires, which I'll find a set of 4 used ones, figure somewhere around 150 bucks. So I'll probably have to put like 700 bucks in this car. I've already put, with the rear pads and the oil change, 100. So I'm gonna end up being in this thing for about $1,000 in repair work, parts and labor. And I paid $2,200, that's $3,200. I gotta still register it. So my total investment when all this is done will probably be like 3,500 bucks, including the registration, the tag, and everything. I'm gonna be transferring a tag over. But really, for an Element, an 06 Element with 130,000 miles, gonna have all new struts, new control arms, no oil leaks, new tires, newish tires. That's pretty damn good. I mean, that's still a really good deal. This is, like I said, this is a $6,000 truck all day. For a quick sale, like turn it over overnight, 5,000 bucks, which is not the plan. But again, if I had to get cash and quick, I could still sell this thing, make a $1,500 profit after everything is done. So I'm not upset about the repairs. Like I said, I expected everything except for the control arms, which aren't even that bad. I think that was it. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. No, that's it. So she's running great. I've been driving it all day. Not giving me any issues. Just obviously all that noise I had in the front end was more the control arms than the what the fuck are you looking at? Than the struts, because you know struts make a little bit of popping noise when they're blown. But I mean, this is a real loud clunk. And I kind of had a feeling last time I was test driving, I'm like, you know what, that can't be just struts. So obviously I figured that in with my offer. But yeah, I guess everything else looked great on it when he went through it. So I'm very happy with the purchase. I just can't wait to have all the work finished on it. And it'll be a perfect vehicle, you know, fingers crossed, next week. All right, it's been about 15 minutes here. Let's go see how the Element smells. Ah, very nice, very clean. I want to show you guys quick. Let me give it another minute. I'll tell you what a difference. Actually, that shit works pretty good. It was $4, give or take. I want to show you guys how clean the motor is. I mean, when he changed my oil, he always details my engines. Pretty snazzy. He does every little thing. Look, the brake lines, the strut towers, cruise control box. Doesn't miss a thing. Always tops off all my fluids. So looks great. The outside's gonna clean up just as nice. Bought a new car cover now that I don't have the carport anymore. These are pretty good. You get these at AutoZone or Advance. At least I know AutoZone carries. It's the Budge. And I had one for the same one for the Mustang. This one looks a little bit nicer. The last one I had lasted 2 years. Never tore, but the microfiber material on the inside started to disintegrate after a while and was leaving a mess on the car. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of putting car covers on. I mean, I don't care how clean the car is, they'll start causing minor swirl marks. They'll obviously buff out, but it's more of a temporary thing. I'm still in the shop searching process, hoping to get something soon. I'm not sure if I'm gonna wait till my schedule slows down in May, or if I'm gonna do it now. I don't know, we'll see. It all depends if I get the right deal. So anyway, guys, just wanted to show you the cover. That's really it. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the next one.